Defense of a dwelling. Let's talk about this defense in two different rules. Non-deadly force and then deadly force. The defense of a dwelling, by the way, is a defense of where you live. Your house, your townhome, your apartment. Basically somewhere you live. You can use force necessary, but we need to talk about how far someone can go. So for non-deadly force, a person may use non-deadly force if he or she reasonably believes that force is necessary to prevent or terminate another's unlawful entry or attack on their dwelling. Example, let's just say that Austin approaches my home. I have the reason to believe that he's going to try to get into my home or attack my home. I can go outside, I can grab this guy and throw him off my driveway into the public street because I have the reasonable belief that he's going to cause some type of harm towards my home. But it must be reasonable, non-deadly force. I can't get a gun and shoot him. That's unlawful. That is going way too far. Therefore, that is an example of non-deadly force. Now, let's talk about deadly force. So deadly force may be used only to prevent a violent entry and when the person reasonably believes that the force used is to prevent a personal attack on themselves or another in the dwelling, like let's say your wife or your kids, or to prevent an entry to commit a felony in that dwelling, like a burglary or a robbery. So, example, let's just pretend that someone tries to break into my home. I look at the peephole or I look at my Ring camera on my phone and I see that there are 3 masked men with weapons. It could be a baseball bat, it could be guns, it could be knives. I see they're trying to kick in my door, right? That's an example, right? Not only do I have the reasonable belief that that person is trying to personally attack my home and anyone inside because they have guns, they're trying to kick down my door to get in. Therefore, clearly trying to commit a felony in my house. They're trying to literally commit burglary by forcibly trying to open the door, right? That is a situation where if they're in my house, I can get my shotgun and shoot them in the head. That is an example of someone being able to properly use deadly force because, again, I saw they had knives. I saw they had guns. I saw that they tried to kick down my door. I saw they had masks over their heads. They're not just simple guests trying to come to my door at midnight trying to sell cookies, right? They're at my front door doing those acts. And I see that through my Ring camera or my peephole. So with all those factors taken into consideration, you present that to the jury or on your law school examination. That can be a way for the defendant to be basically prevent liability for murder. So that is an example of using deadly force for the dwelling that you live in.